Hi all. This week, t-shirt in the flesh, link is there, it'll be below. This week we're going to talk about a concept is in the old days, in the old model, which we'll have here, you had many channels where people could recover the cost for a movie. So they could afford to do that mid-ranged movie. Matt Damon talks about this, Behind the Candelabra. He said the film was going to cost maybe 50 million to make. So then they had to do 50 million in marketing. Suddenly they have to recover $100 million, which makes those sorts of mid-range dramas much more expensive. In standard business, there's the idea of not understanding your audience. So if we look at a standard business model, which we'll put up here too, the gap, if you're mass market, you're selling lots of things very cheaply, or you're highly specialized, so you're selling cans of Coke, or you're selling very expensive bottles of champagne. Both ends of those are super successful. In the middle, you can get some specialized drinks, some highly specialized health drinks or fermented this and that, and they'll charge a slight premium. But if you're going to get something about $75 a bottle, not the $900 bottle, and not the cheap bottle, that is a much harder market, and you'd have to specialize in something. Maybe if it was in a film, it might have to be a documentary. In the old days, you had your exhibition to release. Then you had the secondary video market. Television was paying a fair bit of money to buy content, and they could sell advertising on it. And then streaming. People used to spend a lot of money on their streaming services, hundreds of dollars a month. Now Netflix is $10, $12 a month. So streaming services, cable used to be very expensive. Streaming has ruined that market, made it exceptionally cheap because they're going for large volumes of subscribers, which meant their content has to be cheaper. They can have a larger movie base because people don't have to go for the event TV. They can watch it whenever they want to, which is a slightly different model to what cable used to be. But the destruction of the video market and destruction of the network, because they're more live event TV now. So the destruction of those two secondary markets has destroyed that middle of filmmaking. So it's pushed Hollywood into making blockbusters. They're going to get a lot of people to turn up to the event, opening weekend. We're going to get a lot of people in a very short space of time to recover all our money because we don't have the ability to get it through video. We don't have that secondary market. So we have to do the blockbusters. And if we do the blockbusters like the superheroes and the things with existing IP, we can also leverage a secondary market which isn't within film. Perhaps merchandising, t-shirts, toys, books, the novelization, being able to license those things, video games. That big end of town has those secondary incomes since they've lost the secondary income of video, which used to be the bread and butter for normal, good drama. That's why we don't get as many normal dramas as we used to. You wouldn't get a Shawshank Redemption these days. Those tend to be more maybe European cinema now or straight to streaming. So you'll have these production companies that make things straight for Netflix, or Netflix themselves will make those dramas. Well, they can afford to spend that money and have a longer arc to recover it, where a normal production company, which has to sink money in to those things, has to get their money back quicker. They can't afford a 20-year recovery or a 15-year recovery time. Thank you for everyone who's been liking these things. Remember, a like on anything which is about screenwriting, whether it be my channel, somebody's channel, will make sure that you get to see more stuff about creativity and more about screenwriting. So if you've done a thank you, done a thumbs up, thanks very much. Thank you to everyone who's done this. This is the t-shirt in the flesh. And until next time, guys, keep writing.